Alright gamers, well, with the all-new Avengers Infinity War sequel due out at the end of this April, that I'm super hyped for, if you saw my top most anticipated list of 2019, you would easily tell that this is obviously the one that I'm most anticipating for this year. Yes, over 10 years in the making, you already saw that Infinity War is my #1 best movie of 2018, and this one I'm hoping will do just as great and finish off the saga. Hoping they can beat off Thanos once and for all. And in the meantime, while waiting, I figured I might as well do a game that seems perfectly appropriate that I hinted in the last game review when I did LEGO Marvel Avengers. Yep, LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2, a sequel to another Marvel LEGO game that I talked about a couple years ago, LEGO Marvel Superheroes. So yeah, it's sort of movie licensed in a way, but sort of not. It's kind of in its own universe, despite the fact that this one is more movie licensed, has all the soundtrack, the voice actors, and everything like that. This one, again, is more like this one because it brings together all the universes of other Marvel characters and comics and so forth, like X-Men, Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man, of course, is part of the Avengers universe, Fantastic Four, and so forth. And finally, as I mentioned briefly, you can tell that it also finally brings in the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, and yes, this is the Nintendo Switch version, as you can tell. It's finally made its way onto Nintendo consoles. Not that this one hasn't. There was also a version of this game available on the Wii U, and so forth, and Nintendo 3DS. And the same goes with the movie-licensed LEGO Marvel Avengers game. And this is also available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and so forth as well. And so, I was interested to see how Nintendo will be able to handle this on their big hit hybrid console, so why not? Being able to play it at home and take it on the go? Let's take a look at how it holds up, and see if Marvel still has it in LEGO form. Alright, well, when you start up the game, you notice, even though this is obviously not strictly movie licensed, it's more like a 2014 game, as I mentioned before, but you can't help but notice a lot of connections to the movies. Like, for instance, starting out here, you hear one of the songs from Guardians of the Galaxy, Come and Get Your Love by Redbone. It's from the beginning of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, you know, when Star-Lord's listening to it on his Walkman and kicking shit around. And the music in the main menu is almost similar to the Avengers theme. And yes, as soon as you start up the game, you play as none other than the Guardians of the Galaxy. But with an exception. You're in the same planet environment, you know, at the beginning of the first movie, you know, when they fight and just before they get sent to the prison planet. Except now it's all destroyed. This time the main villain himself is Kang. No, not that Kang. Yeah, he's sort of an alien, but he's not like that alien. There's no Kodos. Instead, he's trying to cause chaos, turn every world in the whole entire universe upside down using time travel, build an empire, and rule the entire universe itself. Pretty cliche for the most part, but, well, he's a pretty well-designed supervillain. And to stop him, you have to collect these crystal-like things, which you get every time you beat a boss fight at the end of every stage. Another thing you should probably note that even though the Guardians of the Galaxy are in this game, which you get, yes, every single one of them, they're not voiced by the actors who play them in the films, which may seem a little disappointing at first, but not to worry, they nailed their personality traits so perfectly in this game, you know? Peter Quill, known as Star-Lord, is the heroic leadership type of guy. Drax is the overreacting tough guy fighter who takes anything and any insults way too literally. Gamora is the caring but at the same time distant one, who's not afraid to fight but at the same time tries to solve all the issues that anybody has whenever they break the team apart. Rocket the Raccoon is the tech and weapon junkie, who at the same time loves to throw wisecracks and insults at people, usually starting fights. And Groot is the sentimental one who, well, as you guessed, only says 3 words, but don't underestimate him. He could still do some pretty cool stuff, and kick some ass at the same time, as well as grow into different sizes. Yeah, sometimes he could be small, sometimes he can be big. Their abilities and everything should seem pretty familiar if you played any of the past LEGO games, especially the Marvel ones, that is. And the puzzles and everything, again, are very creative. The designs to all the levels and everything, giving the characters every one of their chance to really help out and be a team player. To rescue all the victims, because, yeah, there's trapped victims all along this planet that you have to rescue. Before, of course, taking on this big-ass boss fight. Damn, he doesn't screw around. And all I could say is, even though it's not movie licensed, you can't help but relate to the movie as well. You get Stan Lee cameos once again, just like LEGO Marvel Avengers.
Even if you don't rescue him, it's more of a side mission. Yeah, there's plenty of side quests, getting all these boxes and everything like that, and collecting all Lego pieces if you want to do that. But your main objective, complete the main mission, and, well, fight this big-ass boss. The way you have to do it is pretty creative. And once you take him down, it's on to the next part, which you go to, well, the Avengers Mansion. Doesn't look like the Avengers Tower like in the movies, but as I said, it's not exactly movie licensed, and you get all these characters like Iron Man and Captain America, the Wasp, and even other characters that I've never seen in the movies, but I pretty much know about, like She-Hulk, Giant Man, yep. And, well, I should say this, unfortunately the X-Men and Fantastic Four, unlike the previous game, this one to be exact, well, they don't return in this one, so that could be a little bit of a downer. But thankfully, after teasing us with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it kind of makes up for it, because you get plenty more missions with them in this game. But not till a little after this one. What happens is, of course, well, I should mention there are some annoying parts. You can't skip cutscenes, first of all, and especially this part with the newspaper Daily Bugle leader that you probably remember from the Spider-Man movie. Sounds just like him, but it's not voiced by him. You also can't skip this, and I feel like this is a little unnecessary. I mean, I get the point. Kang is trying to wreak havoc throughout the universe, okay, blah 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 blah, but just get on with it. The characters and everything, once again, not voiced by their actual actors, but I think we can let that slide, since their character traits are once again, just as you remember in the films. At least the ones that got their movie screen time. Trying to find different pieces and everything, this part can be a little bit tricky. And then of course you go down to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters and talk to Nick Fury, who assigns you your mission, in which you have to go to Siberia. And, yeah. You should probably note that every level dictates what characters you get to play as. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it shorter and quicker and sweeter to the point. You got Siberia, where you have to solve all these puzzles outside, eventually making your way inside of this top secret lab, the source of this green acid-like thing, where a presence apparently takes control of Captain America, turning him temporarily into the enemy, so you have to fight him. Yeah, how ironic. Then eventually Iron Man and Captain Marvel, who just had her movie released, joins in the fight. Playing as them two, of course, leads you to an underwater world, not to be confused with Aquaman. No, this is Marvel, obviously. Their powers are pretty much similar. They both can fly, go underwater for an unlimited time, and melt these gold things. And what you have to do, you have to go through all these 3 different pipes and solve these puzzles, while fighting this guy Atuma several times in the process, who eventually sleeps with the fishes when you complete this mission. And then next you're on the snowy and partially destroyed bridge in New York City, and you play as none other than the web-slinger himself, Spider-Man. Alongside him, introducing Miss Marvel, yeah, not to be confused with Captain Marvel, who of course has the gliding powers, as well as White Tiger, who can claw his way through stuff. Yeah, because of course you come across a jungle-like thing on top, but before we jump the gun, you fight several of Spider-Man's arch-nemesis, starting with Shocker, Mysterio, who of course is going to be one of the main villains in the upcoming Spider-Man Far From Home movie, Vulture, who is obviously in Spider-Man Homecoming, followed by Kraven, and then of course, Dr. Octavius himself. And we're not talking about the regular-sized version of Dr. Octavius, who's, well, regular human size. We're talking one that goes in this big-ass machine thing. Damn. So, it's up to you to take him down with your Spidey powers alongside your team members. And then you get sucked into this portal-like thing, which puts you through this weird type of universe. Or Spideyverse, I should say. Yeah. Sound familiar? Because, yeah, you follow around Gwen Stacy as the white-suited Spider-Man, as well as play as her, too. Can't help but think about that film, which is a great, well-drawn animated film. I highly recommend it. But not to get too off topic, yeah, your main objective, as you can tell, is actually taking down the Vulture for good, who you obviously didn't take down in the last mission where you play as Spider-Man with his team in the real world. So, yes, you get through that, and this is the first time in this game, and there's several times in this game where you get to a fork in the road and you can choose which level and mission you want to complete. Choose one, and then you obviously save the other one for after. So I'm going to go with the Avengers one, and off to Wakanda, home of the Black Panther we go. Again, he's not voiced by the actor Chadwick Boseman, but I think I can let that slide. The whole design of this area is really incredible, and what do you know, you get to play as him. And why not, right? Because he is in the Avengers universe, and he does join your team in Infinity War. and his powers are pretty much the same as White Tiger. Not to mention uses animal sense powers to find stuff that no other character can find and dig it right up. So, yes, make your way through the underground Wakanda maze. Boss in this level is Man-Ape. Okay. No comments there. Guess you gotta give this giant ape a banana. Take him down, in other words. Now, if you pick Captain America's team, you head off to this castle with half the Guardians of the Galaxy team and Doctor Strange, the sorcerer whose powers do take a little getting used to control-wise, but you'll get the hang of it. So you fight your way through this medieval castle, getting past all these traps and chain reaction devices, which are actually pretty cool. Free Captain America, who somehow got tied up to a freaking torture wheel, and then the boss fight, which is the Black Knight. No, not that Black Knight. Not to get too off topic here. Take him down, and next mission is, well, start out by collecting 10 vibranium pieces. I recommend using Star-Lord flying around. That's right, it's half of the Guardians and the Avengers again. With the mini-map, collecting these things is definitely a lot easier. So you head out to Hydra's Flying Fortress, taking out more enemies and so forth. You get the picture. I'll try to get through this a lot quicker. But, yep, make it through this, fight enemies. Boss fight here is Claw, and his 2 minions. No, not those minions. Fight him off, and just when you think it's over, you get into a dogfight in an airship. Okay, now this is fun. So you shoot at all the different airships, try through these Lego piece loops if you want to, but mainly you want to take out the airships. And of course, bombs that he throws at you. And watch out for the minions that board your ship too as well. So, take them out, and yep, that does it for Hydra in the meantime. And the next mission, which, well, you don't start the main mission until you face off against Man-Thing, where you can play as Thor or any of the Avengers members. So, bottom line, take out his tentacles and then take him out. And head into the saloon, which you play as, once again, the Guardians of the Galaxy, alongside a Western Captain America. Which is kind of funny, and I know it's a weird coincidence how the same guy who plays Star-Lord also plays one of the main characters in the Magnificent Seven remake. Start out inside the saloon, where the boss fight is MODOK. Eventually you make your way on the train, where the boss is Captain Corbett. Okay? Finish off this level by firing Star-Lord out of a freaking cannon. Sweet. Then Team Thor, and part of the Avengers team, onto his home in the heavens known as Asgard, which seems to be in ruin and engulfed in flames, and you take on this big devil-like beast. What does it remind you of? Yeah, if you said Thor Ragnarok, then you're correct there, because that's exactly who it is, known as Surtur. Then on to Doctor Strange's lair. Yeah. Where you get to not only play as him, but also Wong, which, if you've seen the movie, should seem familiar, and this is, well, the first and only time you get to play as him, unfortunately. Lots of shape-shifting and weird puzzles and stuff, and yeah, I got lost on this a little bit, but it's fun. And the boss fight is against Mordo. Again, if you've seen the movie, you probably know this character pretty well. But let me assure you, this is a pretty damn long boss fight. So once you beat him, it's another fork in the road. I chose Team Spider-Man in this one. And, well, before you start the main mission, once again, you have one of these missions where it has you running around the city. And this one is for Daredevil. Yeah, I just wish you got a good freaking movie. At least the Netflix series was actually pretty good. And then another one, and this time it's with Luke Cage. Here you're introduced to a rather cool concept of create a character. Yeah, just go in this part of the Avengers mansion and you can go all crazy whenever time you want to. But you have to make the character look exactly like this in order to meet his requirements. So let's do that, go back to him, and start the mission.